Hi, welcome back to my channel. Have you ever heard great artists are born? Well, that's not so true. The difference between a great artist and somebody who likes to color is just a matter of technique. And today, I'm going to show you how to use your pencil as a tool to become a great artist. Okay, so you bought your first coloring book, you got the pencils. Now you need to know how to do it. As a child, this is the way you colored. Simple enough. What you've done is create a line of darker pigment right in the middle. This is what you're not supposed to do. Now, let's show you what to do. The first of the strokes that I'm going to show you is hatching. Hatching is basically going in one direction. It's a stroke that goes in one direction. I don't know who named it hatching, but I guess it's a good name. And you slide your hand slightly going in one direction so that the lines butt up against each other but don't intersect with each other. You get a smooth transition, and then you could start your next line going slightly up where the pencil point may not have reached. And then intersect your lines in between. Starting the third row. Hatching is what you're going to do to color most of your pictures. I'm going to show you several other techniques, but this is the most popular and the most widely used. The tip should not be completely pointy. Okay, you should have basically a small run down on the tip. You can see that it doesn't come to a complete point. That's to give you a little bit more grab on the tooth. If you do this with a really sharp pencil point, it's gonna make a mark that's a little bit too dark. This could have been run down a little bit more. Now, say I want to shade that, all I do is use the pencil and go over it again. The more times I hatch in an area, the darker the color will be, the more the tooth grabs the wax, and the smoother the gradient is. Okay. I could do that again over here if I want to start bringing the shading down. You hatch in the same direction. Now, say I want to take this and give it a little texture. The next one will give you that texture. The second pencil technique I'm going to show you is cross hatching. Like in my first one, you do your line of hatching going across. I'm doing a little fast. I would have slowed down a bit if I was just coloring. All your lines are coming in one direction. You turn the book, and now you do another one going down and across. And the same over the next line. Then I'm going to take it again to bring it darker. And you continue this until you're satisfied with your color saturation. I'm sorry I'm talking all choppy. I'm trying to concentrate on the drawing. And then I'm going to take it again going in the other direction. I do this on all textiles because you want that thread mark. And this will create that interweave. It's really great on jeans. And that's cross hatching. The next one I'm going to show you is the tapered stroke. We reviewed that in my hair tutorial, but I'm going to just go through it now because obviously we're talking about all 5 of the different strokes that you can use in a coloring book. Tapered stroke is when you start the pencil point going down, and instead of staying on the paper, you lift up so it's like a C. For this one, you're going to use a sharp pencil. The sharper the better, because that's going to give you your nice tapered look at the end of the stroke. Tapered stroke is for all hair and fur. And of course I went into much greater detail in the other lesson. You should practice the tapered stroke going both directions, going down and up, so that they're both equally as comfortable in your hand. And if you have problems with one, you can always turn the book around. And see, for the feathers, I want to add some color in there. I don't want to scratch it in. I would taper it in. I'll try a little bit over here so you can see. Okay, so that's the tapered stroke. The next one I'm going to use is circular or circling. You're going to take your pencil and go around. And you keep going. This is fantastic for backgrounds. When you want that soft look and you want things to sort of interweave, different colors and shades to interweave with each other, this is the pencil, this is it to use. Circling, you should also use a dull point. Of course, these points are a little bit sharp. But if you keep going over the color, it should fill in nice. Because circling leaves white space that just pops when another color comes in. And of course you do many layers of it over each other. And the more you do, the better it looks. This is the stroke you use for clouds. Now when I use this stroke, the duller the better. I could do a quarter, like if I start with a sharper pencil point, by the end, I get it down all the way down before I sharpen it again. Remember, the pencil is your tool. The last thing I'm going to show you is dotting, or it might be called stippling. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's see. This would come out beautiful if it was stippled. Stippling takes a long time, and that's the art of using little dots to create shading. Now I'm going, this area could take me hours. I mostly like to stipple with pen, like pen and ink, because you can really get a sharp dot. Pencils are kind of harder, but it does give you texture. And especially if I wanted, like I want this fluffy. The more dots, the darker the color. And of course you can take another color, and if you wanted to shade it with other color, you use other pencils. The further away the dots are, the lighter the shading looks. So you could see it starting to develop over here, where I want this darker and I'm trying to get it to a lighter. It's hard on your hands. Even for somebody who's experienced, this is probably the toughest and will get your hands the most tired. I remember doing a picture almost entirely of stippling and my hands ached. But you know that the strokes become very second nature to you the longer you color. And like any muscle, your hands got muscles. The longer you do it, a lot of new people say, oh, you know, after a certain amount of time my hand hurts. You really do build it up where it won't hurt that much later on. Just got to get that muscle memory going. See, now I'm starting to get a cramp in my hand, and that's only just a little bit.
If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell.